Hello, welcome back, and thank you so much for being here. You are a magnificent human being. You're in the right place, capable and strong. So, we just went through our standing series, some of the more difficult poses, right? And now it's time to get closer to the mat and get into some of our restorative postures where we get to relax a little bit more. So I'm just going to go over two of the most popular ones today, Pigeon and Hero pose. So you might need a block for this, or a rolled up towel, or something like that, like a small blanket to be able to prop yourself up. You might need it, you might not, I don't know. Everybody's different. But if you are not the most flexible person, you might need to find a block. And oh, wait, I have a block because I, again, am not the most flexible yogi, but I do know how to get you into the poses properly. So let's check out our pigeon pose. So typically you come from downward facing dog. And then take your left knee, bring it up to your left wrist, and just set it down. It's on the inside of that left wrist. Untuck those back toes. And you want to slowly try to bring this heel up as much as you can. So some people will be able to bring this shin perfectly parallel with the top of the mat, keep their hips perfectly square, and then fold and come on down. So while that is not me, that is the goal of the pose. So some folks will need a block to kind of help and set it underneath and prop up your glute here just a little bit to help keep your hips square in your pigeon. Also, you want to really make sure that this left knee is directly in front of your hip. You don't want it way out here as you come down, and you don't want it too far in, like past your midline. Again, really just trying to keep this knee directly in front of that hip, your back leg nice and straight, and however far that heel is in towards your groin is fine. Again, some people may be able to bring it out perfectly 90 degrees, and others need to keep it back a little bit, so whatever. Okay, so you're here, hips are square, this knee in front of your hip, back foot nice and straight, and then you hinge on down at your hips and relax on down. And you can stack your fists to bring your mat up to your forehead. If you have a block, you can rest your head on your block. Or if you like, you can lay all the way down. Now, pigeon pose really gets into our hips, and a lot of emotions can be stored in our hips, and it can be really intense for some people. I've taught many classes where people have cried in pigeon, they have laughed in pigeon, or nothing happens at all and they just get a really good stretch, so it's going to be different for everybody. But this part of the class is called restorative, I feel, because we're in these poses for longer. So hopefully you are here on your mat and you're still hanging out in your pigeon. And the biggest thing you can do to help your restorative phase and process of your class is to breathe, is really to connect back with that intention that you set at the beginning of class and just breathe, just relax, just hang out. So let's take right now at least 5 deep breaths and just relax. coming back up. So, these poses can, you can think you're feeling a good stretch at first, and then all of a sudden something starts to hurt or shift. Discomfort is actually good, but there's a big difference between discomfort and sharpshooting pain. So pain, not good. Discomfort is your friend. So as you get deeper and deeper in your pose, you may feel just discomfort through the whole thing, but if at any point you feel any sort of sharp shooting pain or something like that, back way off, change how you are in the pose, and try to relax from that point. Okay, so we've been here for long enough. Let's put our hands back down on the mat, come back up, tuck your back toes, and slowly come into downward facing dog. Pedal out, feet move around. And then, as always, we do one side and then we do the other. So take that right knee, bring it on up into the base of your pigeon, untuck your toes, and do your checks. So right knee directly in front of that right hip. Hips are square with the front. If you need a block to prop up that glute on the back, feel free to do so. And slowly begin hinging on down. And just like we've done before, 5 breaths, just hang out, just relax. Again, come back to your intention if your mind starts to wander. Awesome. Coming on back. And tuck your back toes. Downward facing dog. Oh. Just go ahead and come on down to your knees and relax. So, again, pigeon can be pretty intense posture. And some more of the restorative poses, I like to think that hero pose is one. There's another posture called cow face, which we'll get into that, in a different episode. But for now, let's also look at hero pose. So there's a good chance you may need a block for this. In our hero pose, come into tabletop first. Fingertips spread wide, and leave your ankles where they are, but bring your knees together. So if you were to sit back, you could actually have space for your butt in between your ankles there. So squeeze those knees together. You may even want to come up here and really squeeze your knees together, squeeze them together, and then as you sit down, keep squeezing your knees. This is going to help that sort of inward rotation that you need in your legs. So squeeze, 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 and then sit all the way down. Now, if you cannot get your butt all the way to the ground, then simply place a block underneath. And there you go. So you may need 2 blocks. You actually may need a towel with only, say, 2 inches of padding. Just that little much will be able to help you relax. In our hero pose, you may think, gosh, this is going to be, terrible on my knees. And it can be, unless you're kind of thinking about the proper ways of which to get into it. So again, it's a gentle inward rotation of your legs that allow your feet to come out to the back. And refrain from ducking out your feet, like sending them out 90-degree angles. You want to keep them as relatively straight back as possible. So you relax in your hero pose. And hero has also been called reclining hero because if you do have your butt all the way down on the mat, then you can recline and come on back just a little bit onto your forearms, or you can lay all the way down. So wherever you are in your hero pose, everybody is going to be at a different position. It's perfectly fine. This is yet another posture that you can make advances in pretty quick if you just have a decently regular yoga practice. So a note about your knees, they're going to want to start to come apart, whether you're just sitting here or whether you're laying back, either way. So you want to really seek to keep those knees together. Again, if they do come apart just a little bit, that's fine. Just trying to find wherever you can relax in it the most. So again, we typically stay here for a while, so let's just hang out and take about 5 breaths. Place those hands down on the mat and slowly come back up. Extend those legs back out and kind of shake things out. You can draw figure 8s with your leg, however you like. And that is our hero pose. And again, every instructor is going to do something different. Some don't even really think of it as a restorative phase. Some go through these postures a little bit quicker. Some, there are classes out there, they're just restorative yoga where you hold poses for, a really long time. So that's basically it for the restorative section. Let's check out the next video. Thanks.